7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Stadium Connect North. Here I have my trusty friend John Scalar on my right side. How are you doing, John?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. So today we've got exciting news. We've got some cool stuff to talk about. We've got a poll open, which we'll be talking about it during the open chat and also during the news. But we're asking you, what do you think that Ubisoft Scalar will impact cloud gaming in general? And John, I see here that you've mistyped Scalar, so shake my head. Shame on you on that.
But no. Is it really misspelled wrong?
Yeah, it is, but I'm joking because I'm the one who made the poll. Because okay. I'm the one who mistyped that. So
it's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, for sure. And before we start, I also like to say that we are going to try to make this a little bit shorter. We've got some feedback, and we noticed that maybe we're doing a tad bit too long. So we're going to work on maybe putting it a little bit shorter. So we'll see how that works. Yeah. So John, what have you been playing this week?
Oh boy! So I've of course Dawn of the Monsters as always. I'm still playing that, but Mad Streets, which came out Tuesday, I've been playing that, and today on the show, a little bit later on, we're gonna have a throwdown here with a cowboy, and we're gonna have a match here live on the air, the best of 5 here to see who's the Mad Streets Stadia champion. So that should be fun. Lots of smack talk involved, and it's going to be a fun time for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for him to come here, and the smack talk is priceless. I love you guys when you. Oh, it's so good, guys. They did a smack talk on Anthony's YouTube channel, which is And Now Your Mama Knows. And it's so good. I highly recommend you guys to go watch it. It's just John and Cowboy smack talking, and it's so priceless. So yeah, for me, I've been playing some Dawn of the Monsters. Also, I finished a game this morning.
Oh, awesome! Yeah. Congratulations! Yeah, so
thank you. Hey, it's hard. It's a hard game, man. So if you do finish it single player, I really. It's crazy, but it's really fun. We're gonna go and try to get an S on all of these levels now.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. So other than that, you know what? I haven't played much. Now that I think about it, I've played some Risk of Rain. So since the developer summit, they've added a trial, right? And I've gave it a try. And you and Azu recommended this game to me a while back. And you guys were so right. It's so good. The music, the action, and I'm hooked. I already finished it once with my friend Vivi. Actually, we played some multiplayer together, and I really recommend the game. If you guys want to try the trial and give your own thoughts, it's so good. It's really hard, but it's really good. Other than that, we've got a beautiful day today. I've heard that in Toronto yesterday. You guys had some good weather, and we're getting all that good weather today. So It's very nice, very sunny.
Yep. Yeah. All the fog is lifted for a day and a half. We had really heavy fog all day
Yeah.
long. Today's another nice day, not as nice as yesterday. And of course, I'm just right across from the CN Tower and the Rogers Center. And going on this weekend, they actually have a Comic-Con at the convention center. So there's a bunch of people out there, and it looks like some type of event across the street in the park. So people are out enjoying the weather and just having a good time.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Mhm.
that's good. I wish that we could have this good weather during the weekend, because I love to take walks during the weekend, and I think that we're not getting some good weather during that time.
Yeah. We see
Awesome.
people in the chat here. David P says, honestly, been looking forward to this all day. Happy Fridays, fellas, and everyone in the chat. That is so awesome. I love seeing comments like that because they're so genuine and just, makes us feel good here. I see our good friend here, the cowboy, showing up, stuck his turkey neck in the chat here on his way home from work, or I think he's going to be leaving work soon. Hopefully he's not driving and watching the show at the same time.
Yeah.
Cowboy, you better get ready. Wash those hands, tighten down that hat, because it's going to be slapped right off of you here in the not too distant future in Mad Streets.
Yeah, we need to. This is the poll that we should have done. Like, it's going down now. Who is going to be the winner, John or Cowboy? Raise your bet, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, it's awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and jump onto our first segment, which is the news, guys. There's so much stuff to talk about, of course, and what we want to talk about first is the developer summit. So this is a summit that happened on a yearly basis, and this year they decided to have a Stadia keynote, and they talked about a few things. So we're gonna go ahead and put the video on while we talk about it. And
yes. So what they've done here is they've kind of did like a little summary of it. It's a top 7 announcements here. Yep. So we can, if I get over onto this screen here, and we're going to make it full screen here for everybody. And let's see.
Hi, I'm Karine, and here are the highlights we shared at the Google for Games Developer Summit. Thank you so much for joining the Stadia keynote today.
I'll go through
and
here.
thank you to all of our partners and to Stadia players for your ongoing support. When we introduced Stadia, we outlined one of our most important ambitions, to make it easier for players to discover and instantly play great games. That hasn't changed, and in the coming weeks, you'll see some big changes in the Stadia store. We're making it possible for people to browse games in our store without needing
Risk
to
of
log
Rain
into or
2.
create
There we
a
go.
Stadia account. It also will be easier for players to find Stadia game pages through Google Search.
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to pause this here because I noted, like, when the summit was going on this past Tuesday, you got this screen grab and tweeted it out, and it was, I think it's very important. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about like why you tweeted out and what you think of this here.
So the most exciting news that people got out of this is that the store can be browsed without an account. And like they really mentioned those very quickly between each other. But what people got out of it was that, so you can browse the Stadia store without an account. And, it is pretty exciting. But what excited me the most about this is that we'll also see Google Search integrated in Stadia. So what that means is that if you search, for example, Streets of Rage 4 Stadia on the Google search bar, then you might have like the first link directing you to Streets of Rage 4, basically. So if you do that right now, you'll only see like Stadia source news and things like that. So it's cool that they're going to do that, and maybe this will help people to get more into these games. So here, what I like about this image is that, see, like it says video links, game site, social. So it might not just be the Google search bar. We might be starting to see it in other places, maybe on YouTube. It's not mentioning it, but who knows?
I completely agree. And now that it's going to happen in a couple of weeks, where the store comes down so that anyone can browse it. But what will happen is like that just takes down another barrier. So now the search engines can catalog these sites And like you said, be able to, if you're searching for a game, like say, for example, Risk of Rain 2, sure enough, Risk of Rain 2 Stadia and the 60-minute trial show up. You could just click on
Yeah,
the link and bam,
even
you're there
better.
ready to go. Yeah, so this was awesome. That was a great, I loved seeing that tweet out there where you got that information out, and very interesting view on it too that I share. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move along
And for
here.
you, our partners, to bring players to your games through unique click-to-play links. Click-to-play trials enable players to try your full game on Stadia in seconds. Players can jump in and try your game without having to pay anything or even signing up for a Stadia account.
That's perfect.
In that first public
Yes,
test,
yeah.
we found that players are about 35% more likely to respond to a click-to-play trial promo than a traditional buy or...
Yeah, if you want
Yep.
to pause there, I have
Yeah.
some to talk about. So, I was bummed to see all of these trials get out of the store, and just to hear now that this was just a pilot phase, a testing phase. Who knows? Like maybe we'll be like these will be permanent from now on. It's hard to tell, but it's very promising that we'll start seeing a lot of new games coming in the trials. And the reason why it's exciting also is because they mentioned that this is open to any publisher on Stadia. So I think they said they send the message to every publisher, so they only have to say like the yes, and then they can add those trials in. And this is something we'll be talking a little bit more in the news, because we did get a few more trials in there, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The only thing, the other thing that I just want to mention is, why is Animal Royale there? Like, I really don't know, but this was weird and interesting to me.
Yeah, and what I found interesting too about this is that these not having to claim to be able to play it is, you could see that there's the 30, they saw in their testing here 35% more click-through rates and a 70+% player engagement. So I think that's a pretty awesome to see. And I know Metal Wolf here in the chat said that he tried to click on the click to play, and it was asking, asked him to log in. I believe you just have to log into your Gmail, like your Gmail account, to be able to do it. Not 100% sure, since we all have Stadia accounts, but
I did it earlier actually with one of my other accounts just to try it out, and it's just a Gmail address and it lets you play it.
Oh, that's
I went
awesome.
on to MotoGP 21 and it let me go online, play the full game without any issues whatsoever. So
that's awesome.
Really good.
That is awesome. Yeah. See, and this is great, right? So, like Ninja was mentioning, now they've opened it up to all the developers, and like I said, we'll be talking about that a little bit later in the news, because we're already starting to see more people jump on the bandwagon here. So I'll go ahead and hit play, and we'll keep on going.
Claim message. We intend to offer click-to-play trials as an option for all partners and their games on Stadia in 2022. Discoverability is the key to a game's success, but the key to a successful gaming platform is its developer experience.
Okay, so I want to stop right here, because I think it's very important what Karine just said, and I'll go back here and let's see if we can get it here correctly, of what is. It's this point.
All partners and their
right
games
after
on
here.
Stadia in 2022.
Right
Discoverability is the key to a game's success, but the key to a successful gaming platform is its developer experience.
So, and I think this is 100% true, because I see out in the community when people talking about what they want to see next with Stadia, and well, how come they haven't done hardware upgrades, or how come they haven't done this, is because, just like Karine said here, the key to a successful platform is the developer experience. And right now, and they've come a long way. Stadia is ironing out that process, the developer experience. We know from previous summits, and also just previous information that's been put out there. Before, getting certification was really hard. The tools, it was hard to develop. So it was a strenuous process. And beginning last July, they started to streamline this and introduce incentives easier to make things easy on people. So I think once this gets ironed out, which I believe to me is going to be the rest of this year, I think by the end of this year, the developer experience and the developer tools, Google or Stadia are going to be happy with the spot that they're at. And then from there, that's when we'll start to see possibly hardware upgrades next year. But I kind of just wanted to talk about here because she made an important point about the developer experience. And if it's not a great developer experience, it doesn't matter the hardware, right? So it doesn't matter if you've got the latest and greatest. If it's a pain in the butt to develop for or get your game certified, no one's going to be, or very little few companies are going to be bringing their games to your platform. So I kind of just wanted to touch on that there.
We're continuing to build new tools and functionality to make it easier than ever to bring your games to Stadia. One of the ways we're doing this is with what we call low change porting. Our low change porting initiative contains multiple components, from libraries that auto-translate DirectX, to improved Unity and Unreal support, to cloud-native playtest and QA workflows.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there. And I don't want to be someone that's taken over everything. So I don't know, Ninja, do you have any thoughts on this that you want to mention?
Yeah,
or?
No, that's okay. But yeah, no, the DirectX translation is probably very exciting for the developers because I don't think that Linux like directly supported DirectX. I think that you have to do it through Vulkan, and you know, I'm no specialist, but I think that this is one thing that will really excite the developers. But that's all I have to say about this.
Yeah. Fletch, is there anything that you wanted to comment on this? What you think of low change porting? Or
sort of the DirectX translation is incredibly huge, not only for Stadia but also for obviously the Steam Deck as well, because that uses a form of Vulkan, and sort of it's a great step forward, especially for that sort of space. And as well with the improved Unity and Unreal support, obviously it came about not long ago from Ryan, I believe, in that sort of summit that section that he had was obviously speaking about Unreal 5 support happening very soon. So you can tell that they're progressing on with it. So yeah, really interesting all around and sort of exciting, especially this low change porting is just going to be incredible, really.
Yeah, I think all around it's great, and it shows that Google's committed to the platform as a whole, and they're listening to feedback from developers and improving these tools. And like both of you said, the auto DirectX translation, that's going to be big. I mean, anything that makes your job easier is always a bonus, right? No matter how small it is. But seeing these things, and then also the sessions that they talked about later on, separately about the emulating Windows was actually a translation. But again, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the community news here. Overall, just super happy to see these tools making it easier for developers to bring games over. And I think we're going to start to see the results from this, which we already have, but even more throughout this year and into next year. So I think it's just super exciting to see this and this continued push and support that Google behind the platform itself.
I think QA is quite big as well, because obviously there was a thing on QA a while ago where it took months to get it put through. So the fact that they're streamlining that down, I think that's the biggest thing for developers, is going, oh, finally.
Yeah, and I think that they mentioned that only Google developers could do the testing, right?
Yes,
so
that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Previously, it was Google. The Google employees were doing some of the QA testing. So just think, like, the people working on Stadia were just so overloaded, and also the developers itself. Now with the cloud play test and Q&A, anybody can do Q&A and also a playtest. I mean, obviously, that's assigned the role. It's just not limited to a certain group of people. So that's fantastic. Again, anything that makes your job easier, right, is always a bonus, no matter how small it is. And I think these are some pretty big improvements here. And, like Fletch said, too, we saw at the Breakout Developer Summit just about 6 weeks ago, Ryan talking about Unreal 5 support coming soon to Stadia as well. So again, great to see overall here.
We're testing these tools with a group of partners and expect to roll them out more broadly this year.
Yep. And so we can see here, I'll just pause it here real quick. We can see the initial partners here. Wired Productions, which we know Lumote, Deliver Us from the Moon, and some other games rumored to be coming as well. Handy Games, Steel Wool Studios, Paradox, Milestone, Saber, Team 17. This is good. And I think we even see Steel Wool Studios. I believe, aren't they the ones behind a certain game that is quite popular?
A very scary game, isn't it?
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's there. I mean, nothing's confirmed, but if you're going through the publisher's catalog and you're looking to see, that's probably going to be high on their list, bringing a game that's popular. So hopefully we'll see an announcement soon here. And yeah, this is good. Team 17 with Overcooked and
I think
whatnot.
what's interesting is that these are initial as well, so it isn't taken. We can't discount the fact that we don't even know if EA or someone like that behind the scenes is also going to be doing something like this. With Milestone being there, that was quite a surprise for me. I'm happy with that. I'm just hoping for Hot Wheels to come.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that you point that, Fletch. So some people took that list as the current developers for Stadia, right? But this is not it. This is basically the guys who's gonna these are the guys who's gonna start trying this new type of porting service, or this development into porting. So we still have a bunch of other people, coming in and developing for Stadia. It's just that these guys are the foundation of who will be helping out on this new type of porting system.
I mean, Ubisoft's not there, so
and
Ubisoft are the biggest supporter, so it just says it all. And I think they wanted probably to start with the not massive AAA studios with low sort of change porting in case they need to change things. The worst thing that you want to do is make a massive AAA game and then have it delayed constantly because there's issues with it in this process. So they want to take the initial outlay, see how it works, and then get it finalized, and then they'll probably pass on to the larger AAA who need that QA.
Yep, because they're going to be opening this up here to more developers. I believe all the developers later on this year. It might even show it here in the video. So let's go ahead and see here.
In addition to making it easier to bring your games on Stadia, we want your partnership with Stadia to be more rewarding. The affiliate marketing program enables participating publishers to earn additional.
Okay. So I'm just muting it here while she's talking, because this is what we saw in July here. About and actually Carrie was talking about this at the Google for Games Summit in July 2021 about affiliate program marketing, where the affiliates can put a link out there and have people sign up to play their game, get a free month of Stadia Pro, and if they convert over to subscription, then the publisher itself gets $10. So that's pretty awesome.
Customers take advantage of our platform technology and deliver games directly to players. Our first step was to define our product in collaboration with expert partners across Google, with the goal of offering everything our customers need to build, launch, and optimize a direct-to-consumer business based on incredible streaming technology that enables gameplay on as many screens as possible. So in partnership with our colleagues at Google Cloud, we've developed a new offering called Immersive Stream for Games.
Yep. So this is the white labeling that people have been talking about. It used to be, I guess its project name or the previous name was Google Stream. That's how everyone's been referring to it for the last several months. And AT&T, Batman was using Google Stream, or now Immersive Stream for Games. So now we've got an official name on that. I'm not sure. I mean, ultimately, it really doesn't matter what we think of the name, but I don't think people were too keen on the name of Immersive Stream, but neither here nor there. But now we've got an official name for it now here, so
it's going in line with that whole metaverse thing and all of that.
Pretty much, right?
It's designed around all the needs we've just described: advanced streaming technology, the right tools to port games easily, powerful discovery features, and the analytics you need to optimize a direct-to-consumer business. There are so many ways we can work with you to provide your experiences directly to players, from trials to full games, to subscription bundles, or even entire storefronts. Those were just a few of the highlights from the Dev Summit. Catch the full keynote and deep dive sessions at the link you see here.
All right,
Cool.
so let's go ahead and take this off on the screen here, and here we go. Yeah, so that's like a kind of a brief overview of the keynote itself, where Karen touched on some of the main topics that we saw. Of course, we saw the sessions, further sessions there, where we, again, probably the most popular out of the 4 other sessions was the Windows emulator for Stadia. And from that, we learned that's not really, again, an emulator. It's more of a translation. And they're doing some amazing things to help, again, make games to be brought over to Stadia super easy. So yeah, all around it was good. It was I streamed the entire thing. It was what was it? It was even longer
Like
than one of our
3 hours?
episodes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was over 3 hours. Had super
Yep.
fun, and then went on Rock Show and talked about it about a half hour later. So Tuesday after that, I was just completely zonked here. But yeah, it was awesome. I was very pleased with the summit itself. Again, it was developer focused, and we
Yep.
still got some good information to take away from that.
Yep, they showed. There's one of the developers who works on just improving basically like the latency of everything, and this process that he went through is amazing. Like just to see what he did, like it gave me a headache, but oh my gosh, like he's a smart guy. Like I think his job is basically just to stare at the screen and figure out like good ways to increase that latency, which is awesome to my eyes. Yeah.
Yep, that was awesome to see.
Yeah. So so we're gonna keep going with the news here. We still have a few things to talk about, including a new blog. Yay! So so we have one game announced. We were aware of it, but and we've got a push. A delay for Lumote, but there's more to it than that. So let's start with Elemental Wars. So these guys, what's the name of the publisher here? They're called Clockwork Origins. So they put a blog themselves on their own website, I think, and they mentioned that they were going to partner up with Stadia and release Elemental War at some point. They didn't say any date or anything, but this was very exciting. It's a tower defense game, and very exciting. It's not really similar to Orc Must Die. It's really more like they're really taking from the classic genre where you have to put towers and stuff like that and destroy those monsters. So I'm looking forward to it. I've never seen like a game like this with intense graphics like that, so it's going to be interesting to see what we're going to get out of this. So Fletch, is that a game that interests you? Are you into tower defense?
I loved Orcs Must Die 3, so I've been anticipating a new tower defense game.
Nice.
So no, for me, this looks really interesting with the different sort of abilities there. I've been watching a bit of the gameplay online, and you have sort of different factions, and yeah, it looks like a really solid tower defense game.
Yeah,
I haven't tried the first one, but I know the second one, they already said that it's going to be leaps and bounds,
nice.
much more of an improvement from the first one,
Yeah.
which already looks.
It
great.
looks so awesome because you see like these dragons, and then these like golems or stone monsters, and then these other types of beasts, and oh my gosh, what is that, like a tree monster or something? I don't even know. Walk into some portal. I mean, I definitely will give it a try and give it its fair share. I'm interested in it. I can't say that I'm like super excited and can't wait to play it, but I'm intrigued by it for sure. And I'm definitely, we'll be playing it for sure to try it out.
Exactly. Like it's a tower defense. It feels like in a world of Dungeons and Dragons, like all these monsters, the like golems and stuff like that. I feel like I've seen them before, so it's very cool, and I like that it like the simple aspect of it, because Orc Must Die, like it's kind of a difficult learning curve, I find, like to strategize and stuff. So I think this is more of the game for me. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
And I don't know. It doesn't mention there if it's going to be multiplayer, like online, or I'm not 100% sure if it even mentions
So it
that here.
says play alone or in co-op mode. So
Oh,
whether
okay.
it's online or not, I'm not sure, but we will
Okay.
have the potential to play together, John, either
Oh,
via
yep.
Google Online or via Parsec. So
Yeah, that's
that's good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
And next up, so Lumote was announced a few weeks ago. I'm pretty sure in February. But what we're learning today is that it got postponed to May 1st. Now, May 1st is when Stadia Pro happens. And we were wondering, like, is it going on Pro or not? Like, we're not sure. It's not mentioning it anywhere. But John has noticed something, and I'm gonna put it here. So he tweeted out yesterday, but he noticed it a few days before. It's just that we wanted to tweet it out just so we have it in Stadium Connect North. But they did tweet and then remove, saying that it's launching in Stadia Pro on May 1st, 2022. So maybe it was just too early to announce it. But who knows, right? Like it's probably going to be a pro game, like because it got delayed. It's going to come out on April 21st on other platform. So I feel like they delayed that for May 1st on purpose, basically for the pro. So that's awesome.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, Lumote is yep.
No, I was gonna say, and you played the demo as well on PC and
Yeah.
Stadia, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you did too, right?
Nope, I haven't.
Oh,
Nope.
I thought you did. But
Nope.
it's so fun. It was my most anticipated game of March. Unfortunately, with the delay, I can't play it. But overall, I'm looking at all these games, and I think it's still my most anticipated game until May. Like it's really interesting to me. Like I like the slow pace. Take your time, do these puzzles. I like the colors. I like the environment.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
Wow.
I bet it's the perfect game for squids, right? Like I feel like squid. There's probably like feeling the way that it's done. Maybe there's a few squids in there.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows?
Yep.
Here, Climax says World War Z. Any news about it? So Sunday. So it's supposed to come on winter 2021, and Sunday is the last day of winter. So like we still have a few days to see if it's going to come out or not. But in my opinion, I feel like it's not. But we'll see. Maybe they'll announce like the delay, or maybe they'll give us more news about it later on. But yeah, it's a very anticipated game for a lot of people. So hopefully they can keep people up to date with that.
I think I'm tempted to say that they might actually push it back till Tuesday if there's any news on it with the blog post.
Yeah,
that's what I reckon they might do. Is just push it back until Tuesday, unless it's been delayed, which would be a bit of a shame. But still got to anticipate it. But yeah, I know why it's so hyped, because it is a really good game.
Yeah, exactly. And so either it's delayed or not, I feel like we're gonna hear something about it. I don't think like a lot of people is anticipating it, so I feel like they're gonna keep us up to date with that. So we should be seeing some stuff, like you said, Fletch. Maybe on Tuesday when we have this week's on Stadia and stuff. Awesome. So here we've got a new game available on Stadia. So it's Mad Streets. We're going to talk a lot about this game today. We've got John beating Cowboy in Mad Street. And we got this announcement, and Fletch has also made a review about Mad Streets, which we'll be showing a little bit later today because it's an excellent review. And so I haven't had a chance to play it. But I'm going to ask John and Fletch, what are your initial thoughts on the game? So, John.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great price. It's priced right. The developer has mentioned on Twitter that the game's not exactly where they want it at yet. So they're continuously working on it. Even talking about new modes. I know the developer is like a big wrestling fan, so they were talking about like tournaments and belts and championships and stuff like that. So that's going to be totally awesome. I think Ray kind of summed it up good. It's kind of like you're controlling marionettes, like puppets, right? And your characters, like they've got all these crazy physics and stuff. And it's definitely a multiplayer party game, although there is a single player aspect to it where you can play against the computer. It's just like wacky, just having fun. Like I streamed it, and like what Zarina played, Foremost
Yeah.
played as well, and
Yeah.
it's easy enough for people just to pick up and not have to worry about a whole bunch of complex moves, right? You know,
Yeah.
X and Y are your punch, left and right, and A and B are just your feet, your left and right kick. You can throw, pick up items and things like that. So although it's not perfect by any means, I think for the $19 Canadian is, or the $15 US, or in other currencies, I
Yeah.
think it's it's fun and worth it in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, I think they also mentioned that you can have like they might implement like permanent belt, like it would stay on your account if you
Hmm.
win and stuff like that. So that sounds very promising.
Hmm.
What about you, Fletch? I know we're gonna get your review out soon, but do you have any other thoughts than that you like to say?
Yeah, I think like as John said, great price. It is a
Yeah,
good price. Um, it's a good price dependent on if that's what you're looking for. I feel like if you're looking for that story aspect, it's not the game for you.
yeah,
If you're looking
yeah,
for a fun party game, the basis is there, and it is
yeah,
the fun. Me and John played on it together when it
Yes.
first
Yep.
came out, and it was just really funny.
Yep.
But like, there are quite a few bugs and glitches I came across, and I feel like if they just put, I know people don't like it, the early access banner on it, and then
Mhm.
made the changes, I could understand a bit more.
Okay.
Instead of just releasing it fully, because I feel like when the developers are saying they have a lot more, it's not in the state where they wanted it to be. I feel like if they put that, it would just look a bit better in
That's a good
personally,
point. Yeah,
in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
I
Um,
agree. Yep.
but it is a fun party game. Yeah, it
Mhm.
is literally human fall flat cross with Gang Beast, just on
Yeah,
steroids.
yeah,
Yep.
and just to mention it, I've noticed that the developers really want to make the game better. If you hang out on their Discord, you see that like whenever someone finds a bug, it's like, oh, does anyone else did that so we can have better data to reproduce it and
Yep.
things like that. So they're very passionate about uh, fixing the bugs and making the game better. So it's very promising to see you know other things that we're going to see about.
Yep.
Okay, so next up, we've got some more new games. So we got Trivial Pursuit Live 2. So for some reason, I thought that this game that it was going to be a port of the old Trivial Pursuit, which I've played a ton with my spouse. Like it's such a fun game. But to my surprise, this is a sequel. So as soon as I saw that, like I had to buy it. This is a Ubisoft title, which is including Ubi Plus. I'm assuming, right, guys?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and I highly recommend this game if you're into like board games or questions and stuff like that. Oh, it's such a fun game, and like I find the modes in there is so much fun. Like you have, like they ask you this question, and then a bunch of people have to click the right answer at the same time sometimes, and you got some time to do it. And the ultimate goal is to get all of these piece of pies in your pie thing, and yeah,
In your pie
so,
hole.
yeah, exactly. And at the end, you get a chance to like maybe get back to salvage your win and maybe win still. Like the ending is very fun. So yeah, a very energetic game. It keeps you active, and I highly recommend it on my end.
That's awesome.
So it's on sale for $24.99 if I'm not mistaken on Google Stadia Canadian.
Yeah, I've played it for around 5 hours now. That's really embarrassing, isn't it?
Oh wow! I'm probably gonna play it a little bit with my spouse this evening for sure.
Yeah, I think like I was quite surprised to see it. There was no fanfare whatsoever with it coming out from Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I I sort of got the notification from Ubisoft and they were like, I was released, and I was like, oh, all right then, cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think if you're heavily looking for a board game, like it's good. But
yeah.
personally, for me, I know I did sort of my review on that, and it was more of like a sale on my
Oh,
end, or wait for Ubisoft Plus, just because the pricing's quite high for what you get. Because it is just sort of the online's pretty bare bones. And
hmm.
compared to the previous version, the only thing they added in was a few extra questions
It
and
does feel
Twitch
samey. Yeah,
integration. So it's
yeah.
very samey. So if you have the first one, it's very similar and is not worth paying the full
Mm.
price if you've got the first one. So it's on that bar of, if you want the new board game and you don't have the previous one, probably
Yeah.
buy it. But
Whoops.
if it's like you've got the previous one, or you just want something to mess around with, Ubisoft Plus or sale it personally, because I
Gotcha.
recommend it's probably going to Ubisoft sale anyway within a couple of months. I know the previous Trivial Pursuit did when it first came out. A couple of months it went on sale anyway.
Yep. And this has got touch control too, or touch
Right.
support as well.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Yeah. But
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
cool.
first Ubisoft game with touch control as well.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, that's good to know that they started to integrate that. Yeah, for me, I'm a big fan of this game, so I decided to buy the sequel. Hopefully, I won't be disappointed. I didn't get a chance to try it yet, but I'll give my initial thoughts as soon as I get to play it. All right. So next up, so we talked about trials, but I just wanted to mention that they did added other trials that wasn't announced during the summit. So let's just make this list load and show you guys a few more trials that you can play. So Grime did announce that they were that they got a trial on their Twitter. I think that's what Stadia did, is they just let them know that they can do the announcement themselves. And so that's why we've seen Grime. And Grime has a 2-hour trial, which is plenty of time to understand the game. And
yeah. And they even made a joke on the tweet. It's like,
Yeah.
please don't speed run the game in 2 hours. We'll go broke. But that's pretty nice of them to give you
Pretty
2
bulky.
hours to play the game. I mean, geez, more than enough time to get a feel for it. So
yeah, exactly. And just to let you guys know, if you want to know what kind of trial is in right now, on the wiki, you can go in game statistic, and then on demo/trials, we decided to call it now. And we'll always keep this list up to date. So if you want to see like the game that got trials and stuff like that, you can click on them here. But to this list, so it looks like we got MotoGP 21, which Fletch has tried. We've got Paw Patrol the movie, which is a family game. Risk of Rain, which is a roguelike. SteamWorld Dig 2, which is kind of relaxing, digging kind of game. I don't know what kind of genre you'd call that. And then Jackbox Party Pack is back with Jackbox Party Pack 8 in the trials. And then we got a good RPG, Ease 9. So I find that they got a really good variety. Like MotoGP is a race game. This is a soul-like game, Grime. So I really like this initial list, and hopefully we'll see it expanded at some point.
East 9 is huge as a trial.
Yeah.
Like
that,
as
2
there's
minutes,
no other
2
platform.
hours
But
too.
there's
Wow.
there's no other platform that gives you a trial of East. And you still can't get it on Xbox. It is only available on PlayStation and Switch, I believe. That's the only way that you can play it other than Stadia. So for 2-hour trials, that's huge.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Like, yeah, because like these big RPGs, they're always hard to get good tries out of them. So I noticed also that Dragon Quest 11 is on special right now for like 30 some bucks Canadian, and it's very tempting because you don't see these kind of price usually. So it's nice.
So I know I don't mean to interrupt you here.
No, for sure.
But in our pre-show, I totally forgot about this. Earlier today, I saw MM2K put out a video, and let me see if I can hold on here. If I've got the screen window, there is. If you go to and you can't be logged in. If you go to stadia.com, so maybe if you open it up in incognito, like as long as you're not logged in, though, that's the thing.
Okay.
Or guest. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So So if you scroll down here, you'll scroll down. You'll see where it says "Show all games" up at the top there.
Yep.
And now here you go. Skip sign up and just play. So I just recalled this here that MM2K put out a video, and I think a few others. So here's the link. So it's going to require you to log into your Google account.
I'll try like a one that I don't have Stadia on. See what happens.
Yeah.
hopefully my password is the same. Good.
Yep.
And we'll see it live here,
Yep.
guys.
Starting
So
your
this is
trial on Stadia. Yep.
Yep. So this is an account with that I don't have Stadia on, which is kind of cool. Asking me if I want to play with a keyboard, and this is what
There you
it
go.
looks like. There's no, my icon is not there. So,
Yep.
and yeah, I think it makes sense for the email to be put in because you don't want someone to try the trial like too many times, right?
And because, or otherwise you could, it would be a lot easier for people just to spam it. Can imagine like you having like setting up a bot and doing 1,000 connections to the game just to try and crash the servers, right? Like
Yeah,
at least
exactly.
this way you need a Gmail account, so it's a little bit harder. I'm sure if people wanted to, they could do something to try and spam the servers. But I thought that was interesting just to mention.
And just a heads up, the trial does not pause. So as soon as you start the trial, you got 1 hour, and then after that 1 hour, it's gone. So if you leave the game after 10 minutes and come back tomorrow, it's not going to stay there. Like you'll be wasting your trial. Just a heads up.
Okay.
With the resolution as well, you can't change the resolution. It is stuck at 1080.
Okay.
You
Makes
can't go to
sense.
720 either.
Oh,
so
I
it's-
see.
It is stuck at 1080, which is fine because 1080 still doesn't require a lot of bandwidth really. But yeah, I like how it sort of advertises as well. Sort of when you end it, sort of carry your achievements over.
Yes, that's perfect.
Pro games,
I love
like
that.
come on.
That's that little hook for you.
Yeah. Awesome. So next up, oh man, that music is loud in my ear. I don't think I put sound in, but for me it was loud. Okay, so from now till March 24th, we got Rainbow Six Siege available for free on Stadia and on every other platforms actually. So it's nice for Ubisoft to include that on Stadia also. So if you want to give a try and play Rainbow Six Siege to see how it is, you can totally do that right now. All you have to do is sign in your account and click that play button. So what's nice about this is that they introduce a new season in the game, which now we have team deathmatch. So again, if you want to give it a try with that new feature, and that's probably why they did it for free. They probably want to promote that new season, right? So so yeah, give it a try. Me and John are next week have a scheduled stream that we're gonna go ahead and play this game and see how it is. So
and I think you originally first saw this because this is a tweet that happened today from Stadia. So you originally first saw this on the Rainbow Six Extraction Twitter, right? Wasn't that right? The other day that they announced it.
Let me get that, which is really weird, right? So I was like, well, I'm gonna put it out now. So it's not. Yeah, there it is. So I read this. I was like, oh, cool. Rainbow Six Siege is going to be free from the 17th to 24th. And I'm like, wait a minute, Rainbow Six Extraction. So I was like, oh, are we unlocking Extraction? Guys, from 17th to 24th. Like I wasn't understanding completely, like until it got clarified. But that was very strange to me.
That was awesome.
I will just say the team deathmatch mode is literally Call of Duty, but with really high time to kill.
It must be ridiculous, right? Like it must be a really funny thing to play.
It is really, really fun. It's just like you appear around the corner, you're dead.
Yeah.
There's no reaction times. It is good fun though. I'm glad they added it finally.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, guys, like I really encourage you to try the game, especially that team deathmatch if you're not into like slow what's that mode called? Like the regular bombing or something like that?
Yeah, the
terrorist mode, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. If you don't like that mode, I encourage you guys to try team deathmatch and see if you like it. And next up, so Gracieuseté, the Granite T-Rock, he noticed on Reddit that someone mentioned that you can now register for the Stadia for the news, and you might even have a chance to get early access if you sign up for Stadia. for X Defiant. So usually, like for a while, I actually monitored this page a lot beforehand, and they didn't have Stadia and Luna on there. So it's kind of nice to see that they added these. So now, if you're registered for PC, for example, you can just go ahead on the website for X Defiant, and if you want to try the Stadia early access instead, you can click that. But it is not guaranteed. This is mostly to get the latest news on Stadia for X Defiant, but you might have a chance to basically go and get what am I saying? Yeah, that early access on Stadia. So, anything you guys would like to say towards that?
I think sort of when I saw this happen, I instantly went on there and changed from PC to Stadia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And,
here. Yeah.
I know they were mentioning about the early access. The next playtest they have will be able to stream it to the public as well. So
Okay.
I think sort of it'd be interesting to see if they do. Well, if as they put Stadia there, no doubt they will be putting Stadia there as a platform that you can stream off of. So it'd be great to see the performance before the game comes out as well, which would be great.
I would assume too that if they're gonna make it available on Stadia, probably using channels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Channels feature that to allow people access to it. So that's good to see. Hopefully, it comes sooner than later because it looks interesting and fun.
Oh,
Definitely
man,
excited for it. Yeah.
As someone
can't
who
wait.
also likes Tom Clancy, I'm very glad they dropped the Tom Clancy name from it.
Yeah.
That was personally a gripe for me about the game, but I'm glad they changed it and it looks a lot cleaner now.
Yeah,
So
they
it'd be
got a
interesting
new
to see.
logo. It's different, and now
Yeah,
it's called
nice
X
and
Defiant.
clean, isn't it? Like
think
a
it
nice clean look. Yeah.
Ubisoft
10
original.
times better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the other one, like they meant it to be like a laughing face, but now if you see it, it looks like a mad face, right? Like these eyes and
Oh yeah, it does.
sad face.
Yeah, yep, it
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
So I don't know if did that on purpose again or not, but that's what I see when I see that X. Oh man. So next up, we've got 100 Days, who announced a new update that's going to come out on March 24th. So it's called Napa Valley. Personally, I've never played. Well, I've played maybe 30 minutes of Wine Simulator. I didn't get a chance to play it much yet, so I'm not too sure what the Napa Valley is going to include. But all I know is that they've still included some naked people on the lower left, lower left logo. So very promising. Maybe they will have some more naked people in the game. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, I think that I'm not 100% sure what the DLC includes. I know that the DLC is paid, so it's not free DLC.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So the update, the 1.33 is free. That's a free update, but the DLC is going to be a paid add-on for the game. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if maybe Aswee's not here, but Aswee's a big fan. He would probably know. But I know that was on this to-do list, like Yves' to-do list to get it on Stadia, and that's just one more thing off his to-do list to do.
That's good. And usually when these types of updates happen, it just mean that the game is doing really good. They never really do the release unless it's unless it's doing well. They only decide on doing the DLCs, depending on their sales. So yes,
I think pricing wise, I think it's like £6 or £7 in the UK.
Oh, reasonable.
So I think it'd probably be around $9-10 Canadian, probably. Which is acceptable for how much apparent DLC is there. So yeah, good update. I know that on Steam it's got positive reviews from sort of where people have played it, so it's looking good. And they always deliver on 100 days because 100 days is excellent.
Yeah, exactly. I know that Rafael Polidoro is going to be excited about this because he's very passionate about the game. So I bet he'll be buying it day one. All right, so next up, I see Fletch, PSX Cloud. Now, who's that?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
Who is this bloke that just discovered some information here? I think this was even after the show last week. Wasn't it last Friday? I think this was like a couple hours after the show. He posted this, like that he was listening to to the podcast. So
Man, so okay, so Deliver Us to the Moon was announced on Stadia, but there was no date yet. We only knew that it was coming out in April, and those Wire Production, those sneaky little guys, they did a podcast. You know, they do that on a weekly basis. They just talk about anything and everything, right? They like I've listened to podcasts. They talk about Final Fantasy. They talk about what did they expected on the state of play and things like that. But like out of nowhere, like they just, you know, they said some positive stuff about Stadia, which was kind of cool. And he's just like, oh yeah, Deliver Us to the Moon is coming out April 22nd, and blah blah blah. He just continues like as if it's no big deal. But
it was really weird. Like I was listening to it, and he was like, we got something else coming out when we're at PAX. Deliver Us is coming out on 22nd of April on Stadia. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I kind of had to backtrack slightly on the video, and I was like, wait, I repeat that again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, it's so it's pretty funny. But they I think what's Steve says that he's bad at keeping secrets. So it's funny that he said that, because maybe but Jake mentioned it, but maybe they're just not good at keeping these things secret, which I don't mind at all. Like I want to hear these type of news, so it's
they
perfect.
don't realize that I listen to their podcast. They're fine tooth comb about everything now.
Yeah, right. Oh man. So as a last piece of news, I think John is actually gonna be sharing a video for you guys. So I've noticed in the chat some people are asking like, what is Ubisoft Scalar, and we got that in the voting. So we'll be explaining it soon enough with this video, what exactly it is. So it's just the news that got announced just a few hours ago, actually. So it's very exciting stuff. And so I'll let John go ahead and take control over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me
awesome
go over there. Oh, okay. And then if you want to just I can't believe that's awesome. It puts it as above us, so that's cool. So Ubisoft Scalar. So our good friend Metal Wolf, who's in the chat, sent me a DM yesterday with a link, and he said, "Have you heard about this Ubisoft Scalar?" And I said, "No, I hadn't heard about it." It was a link to I forget the website now, but it was one of the websites that talked crap about Stadia. And so I looked at it and I was like, oh, I hadn't heard anything about it. And it was actually announced yesterday, pre-GDC from Ubisoft, but they put out an official article and video on it. And so we're going to take a look at that here, and let me get it going over here, and then we'll read exactly what it is. So they've got a video here. All right.
Over the course of their history, video games have evolved to bring more and more players into worlds where they can experience new adventures. Step by step, game makers have taken advantage of incremental improvements in technology to push the boundaries of what is possible. Always dreaming of bigger and more interactive game worlds, yet always being limited by the computing power at their disposal. What if we could make this limitation a thing of the past? Games are powered by engines. The bigger and deeper games have become, the more complex the engines. Animation, sound, rendering, physics, gameplay, and many more systems are crammed into the engine in very static ways, making major changes increasingly difficult. Our approach is different. We are setting game makers free from the restrictions of single machine computing, transforming these engine systems into distributed services and allowing them to harness vast amounts of processing power in the cloud. This enables the construction of gigantic game worlds at a scale far greater than anything that has come before. This technology is built to power the game worlds of tomorrow. To bring them to life, it supports massive numbers of game assets, simulations, AI and player entities, And because the dreams of players and game makers are constantly evolving, this technology is made to evolve alongside them, updating constantly and adding more capabilities as they are needed without interrupting play. Imagine a game world, vast, rich, and fully simulated, populated by an unlimited number of players, all sharing and shaping a single reality together. Not long ago, this could only have been a dream. Today, we are building the technology to make this happen. Introducing Ubisoft Scalar.
All right, so that's Ubisoft Scalar. We know Ubisoft are big cloud gaming supporters. They've got put like a lot of, I think out of all the developers, they've supported Stadia the most. But what Ubisoft Scalar is here, so we're talking about, you saw it in the video here, it's not streaming, it's cloud computing. So we always know every time we hear a new hardware cycle for the latest PlayStation, Xbox, or whatever to come out, they're saying bigger, better worlds, more power, and whatnot. Well, currently, it's just limited to those single systems. Well, with Ubisoft Scalar, you can use the power of the cloud, so cloud computing. If we go here, so they have a really good article here that are talking about it, saying Ubisoft Scalar is a new foundational technology that enables Ubisoft titles to utilize the power of the cloud to ensure developers aren't limited by time or hardware. If we go here, it says here, games are to an extent limited by the specifications of the hardware they're played on. How does Ubisoft Scalar change that? So, of course, it's saying, the limit, the hardware, your local hardware, it's limited. There's only, so many things what you can do. With this, you can use thousands and thousands of different computers around the world to help calculate and do those calculations for you. Then it talks about, when we talk about the cloud, people often associate that with streaming games, but that's not what we're talking about with Ubisoft Scalar. And they say, exactly, it can be confusing. We're not talking about game streaming. It's a difference between cloud streaming and cloud computing, where cloud streaming is a distribution model by improving people's access to the games. The cloud computing is, and we go down here, is what it enables. It means that the processing power for a game isn't tied to a single machine, but a decentralized computation system that takes place in the cloud. And we kind of saw, the hints that they're talking about that in the video there of limitless players, multiple thousands and thousands of different assets. It's saying, can you give us here an idea of what the scalar changes, both developer and player side? So a really good question, because so far it's just like, okay, this is going to allow you to have bigger games, play with more people. It's going to be awesome. So you're like, okay, yeah, that's awesome. Like, so what's it really going to do for us here? And I'll go ahead and highlight it here. It says it's a production tool that opens up the possibilities of cloud for our games, removing that traditional barrier of local hardware you have at home and widening the field of what types of games can be created. It's a tool to open up new possibility for creatives. And due to that, I expect to see a broader spectrum of games coming out in the future. And they're saying one very important aspect is that the Scalar brings is that services are always available. The game is always running. So it's that sort of idea that the world's alive and it's constantly, running and going. Developers can create very rich worlds that can develop, evolve, and change as players are playing them. So then it says, okay, so this is cool. So it's a tool. It's going to have these massive games. They're going to be a living, breathing world that are constantly changing without having to worry about just the processing power of one single computer in the cloud or the box under your TV set, but the cloud distributed. So it's saying, is Ubisoft Scalar a game engine? And the simple answer is no. Ubisoft Scalar is a technology that can work in concert with our existing game engines such as Anvil and Snowdrop to open up new possibilities. And so we know that the Anvil and Snowdrop are very popular game engines that Ubisoft uses. So this is good to hear. And then they're talking about we can go over here. It says we changed the playing field quite a bit by adding the possibility to break out each game engine function into its own microservice. This gives the option to work only on a single piece without having to worry about all the other pieces of your machine. So in that video, when you saw the different pieces of the game engine, putting together like the AI or the graphics or the physics or things like that, you can single out each little aspect of that game engine using Ubisoft Scalar, which will do those computations in the cloud for you by thousands of other what we call supercomputers, basically. So again, it's telling you here, it greatly speeds up an iteration speed and how quickly you can test your changes. It also makes it relatively easy to share your modifications with others. So again, these are all cool different things that, that there's telling about it for developers and gamers. And of course, this is something that they're working on. And, it's not going to be, I really don't think we're going to see this in the next year or two. It's probably several years away. But what's very interesting is Ubisoft Stockholm is working on a new IP that is developed with Ubisoft Scalar, cool, which will fully leverage the possibilities of this technology. Of course, it's a bit too early to go into more details on this project, but we at the studio can't wait to share what we are cooking up. And to close it out here, Ubisoft Scalar is a central technology available to all of the Ubisoft studios. It's being spearheaded by Ubisoft Stockholm in collaboration with Ubisoft Studios, Ubisoft Massive, Ubisoft Red Links, Ubisoft Bucharest, and Kyiv. Being part of this development has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience, as you don't see things that change the landscape that often. Because they're always, these new features and stuff are always life-changing and things like that. So we had this announced right before GDC. GDC starts on Monday. It's this technology that Ubisoft has been developing over the last couple of years here, several years, that is supposed to revolutionize the way games will be made, the processing. Again, it's not streaming, but it's cloud computing. So it looks like it's something that can be used throughout all Ubisoft games. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes. We've heard talk about things like this previously from other companies as well. So we have to see how it materializes. But it's interesting nonetheless. And I really want to see, what type of doors that this opens, like a real working demo that you could try and play and see rather than some type of a concept.
I believe Xbox have done this previously, haven't they? When they had the E3 back when it was Crackdown 3 about running the multiplayer aspect on cloud infrastructure.
Yeah, they were supposed to for Crackdown 3. I know initially they said that all the physics and stuff like that were originally supposed to be run by the cloud, but it didn't happen. But yeah, the in the multiplayer they had the cloud computing where it was done off, up in the cloud and then brought back down to the system. So
yeah, with that power sort of destructibility of environments, the fact that the worlds are going to be bigger. I'm just thinking in my head, Crew 2, how large that is already, and then going, it could be 5-6 times bigger, or maybe more. Oh no, you're never going to finish anything. But question, John, with this one, just because I wasn't too sure, with them working with cloud computing, does that mean that updates will just essentially sync on a server, and you won't have to update games anymore? It'll just be a sync process, and then you'll when you log into an MMO, and when you log into an MMO, it syncs up, and then you'll got all that fresh information in there. I wonder if that's going to happen with that, which would be huge as well.
I think that's what they're referring to as well. So again, they said that they started a new game using this technology, and it's proprietary right now to Ubisoft. So it's interesting to see where it'll come, what will come about of it. Maybe we'll hear more about it in the near future, a little glimpse of a game using it. But
be interesting to see if it's Assassin's Creed Infinity, the live service Assassin's Creed.
You never
if
know.
that takes advantage of it.
Yeah,
all that way.
Yeah. I'm sure that that's probably been talked about as well. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll hear something soon.
Yeah, I got some thoughts on it, but I'll leave it for the open chat, just so we can have like a starting conversation during it. So just a reminder that we'll be talking about this Ubisoft Scalar during the open chat. So we'll see what are you guys' thoughts on that, and yeah, I'm sure we have some cool conversation. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump onto our next segment. So what we have here is we have a battle between two people. I'm not going to say their name yet, but it's going to be very fun. It's there's some explaining to do. So first of all, let me just get John out of the way, because he's kind of too. I think he's taking too much of a big image here. So let me just get him out. All right. So, Mr. Fletch, today we have a special event with Mr. John and Mr. Cowboy. Today, it is revenge time for the beating that John got into Fast and the Furious, and he's back. He wants to get the belt. He wants to come back and get his revenge. What do you think about this event, Fletch?
Oh, it's going to blow everyone's socks off.
Definitely.
But get prepared.
Oh yeah. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the first contestant. He seems nice from the outside, but he can surprise you with some pretty smack talk, you know. He's the host, Mr. John Scars Gaming. Woo! Wait a minute. Here he is.
Yeah, I'm ready. There's this, what they call cowboy, going around social media proclaiming to be two things: the all-purpose champ and the king of content. And he uses, the way that he spells king of content is K-O-K. And you know what that is? That's a cock. And I'm ready here to beat that cock and that cowboy, and I'll show him who the true all-purpose champion is. Woo!
All right. So without further ado, let us introduce you guys to our next contestant. He is one hard guy to beat. He is the winner of multiple challenges, and he is saying that he's never been beaten and he can beat anyone in any game. Let me introduce you guys to the cowboy.
Well, first of all, I had to do a little workout. This is light work that I'm gonna have to make of John Scar. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, let me tell you guys something. I don't lose. And first of all, John, you done screwed up, buddy. Because the worst thing you did was want a round two with the cowboy. If you see these guns, they're not for fun. They're for pounding cake batter into the concrete, which is known as your face. So you would have thought, let me back you guys up. Oh, John wanted to go against me in the Fast and the Furious. You lost. Wait, the number cruncher, Jack the Slip, he wanted to go against the cowboy. Done. Oh, hold on. Just yesterday, in gang, in this game that we're going to play today called Mad Streets. I had an open challenge, and one man had the balls to step up. And you know what happened, John? Well, before I tell you what happened, John, you also had an open challenge yesterday. But you know what? It didn't go too good for you, Jack, because you got pummeled into the ground. But me, I won my match, John. So I'm going to say this, and hear me, John. Listen up, Johnny boy. I'm going to pull up a chair. I'm going to grab the almighty Stadia controller. That's right, the Founders Edition. You probably don't have one, John, and if you did, you probably bought it off somebody. But I'm going to pull up a chair, and I'm going to commence some whooping to you, John. Oh, yeah, the cowboy is about to put the mittens. So, guys, pull up a chair like myself, and let's get ready to rumble.
Oh my God. I hope you're done with all that fancy dancing and all that smack talk, because we're getting ready here to rumble. Let's go. I'm going to turn. Oops. Let's get this on here. Get it going. So I'm going to get the game started up here.
Okay.
And
so, John, I was playing online yesterday, and I think what you have is perfect. We could do the one match where it make you do 3 matches, because we said best of 5. Someone wins 3. That's it. So we could do that, because it makes whoever get the 3 first.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
John, let me ask you this. Do you feel confident? Do you?
I'll show you how confident I am here in just 2 minutes when you're on the floor there.
And Fletch, what's going on, buddy?
Eating the garbage pail.
Got my snacks ready for this.
All right. None other than my guy, NinjaGuy X. How you been?
Hey. Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Very excited for this event. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. You know, like John has been practicing a lot, so I don't know what's gonna happen here.
You want me to give you a spoiler of what's gonna happen?
Sure.
You know what? I won't even spoil it for you. I'll let you see it for yourself.
All right.
Sounds
We're gonna
good.
go here. I'm gonna pick Tiff here. I'm gonna create the room, and to keep the action just between us, we're gonna make it private. So you can join. It's PEQOO.
Now, John, hold up, John. I got it. I got something I think we should do. So I was playing online, and you know the game has a couple glitches. So I did the boxing match ring, and it made me fly over the ropes. I was like, what the hell? So I think you should do the UFC ring, because then there's no glitching.
Okay, so you want the hold on, change the stage.
It's like the octagon.
So there's the boxing.
Yeah, go all the way to the bottom.
Down here. Okay,
yeah. I know.
Okay, here we go.
I tried that, and that seemed to work. Now, are you on the USA server?
Yep, USA.
Okay. And let's see. I'm gonna go join room. And what's the code?
PEQOO.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
PEQOO.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, I see that John is taking Tiff here, because I think that John has a strategy. I think that he thinks that Tiff is a very powerful adversary
well, I think
here.
John was using Tiff a lot. My wife actually used her too. She's the only girl in the game.
No, there's another girl. I'll use the next match. All right, enough time flapping our gums here. Have you chosen your character? Your Kenzo?
I'm ready.
All righty, here we go.
All right. Let's get ready to rumble.
Woo! Man, I've been waiting for this, baby.
Yep. You've been waiting for it. You've been at work all day just waiting for this
man.
match. You're waiting for that.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's
All right,
go.
do it.
Oh, it's already happening.
Come on.
It's happening.
You're strutting.
Yeah. Oh, you can see Cowboy there getting a little bit of a beating,
Yeah.
a little bit less health. You see that he got a
tactics going on.
strategy. Yeah, he's taking his
something
got
time.
me. Oh, there he goes. That
Oh.
cowboy.
He got.
Okay, that's all right. I
Confused
gotta
here.
watch out for his. Yeah, his.
Oh, that was a close one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh.
It's so tight.
There we go.
Oh,
Slap him down
Cowboy
2%.
only at
Let's
2%.
slap that cowboy. Come on,
Let's see.
cowboy, get up. You
I
chicken,
did.
you
Oh,
yellow belly
one,
chicken.
two.
You yellow belly chicken.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
There we
Oh.
go. Down to the
Close
mat.
All right. All
I was
right.
busy. That was close.
John 1, Cowboy
Yep.
0.
There we go.
That's
Okay,
good.
come on. Come on. Look at all that fancy kung fu work here. Come on. Give you the kick.
Oh,
There we go. Oh, look at that.
he can exchange it the same amount of health.
Come on.
John
Yeah,
is
we're
down.
both the same here.
Yeah.
There we go. Nice kick there, Kenzo.
Oh my gosh.
John,
What is
see?
happening?
Oh,
Whoa.
oh, 70-70.
70.
Here we are. We're tied.
Very
Come
tight.
on. Look at this walking back. What do you got? A pickle in your pants there? Come on, buddy. Look at that. You're trying to impress. Who are you trying to impress? There's nobody here watching you on the outside of that ring here.
What you running
Okay.
for, John?
Oh, you're trying to give. You know you're not supposed to hit ladies with it, especially in the head here, right? Look at this. That just shows you what type of man you are. You're trying to do the roundhouse kick. Get over here. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Oh, you're on your Jackie Chan. I can see there. With your
Yeah,
flying
he's trying to do the Jackie Chan. Oh, I gotta get block. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's see if
I'm
we can
crying.
get over here. Give him a kick. Oh, Kenzo. I think
Kick in the
Kenzo might
face.
have this one. Yeah, kick me right in
Never
my
know.
beautiful face here.
Oh man.
Oh, no.
He did,
Come
almost
on.
got him. Almost got
Yep.
John.
There we go.
Oh, just one
I think it's
more
time.
kick.
Oh.
Oh, my cowboy!
Cowboy
Oh,
one.
man.
John 1.
All right, 1-1.
Let's
Let's
see.
go, John.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, you kept. How did you keep your mad move here? There we. Oh,
Whoa.
and you knocked me.
Whoa.
That takes 50% off.
What a cheater.
Yeah, this is cheating. I don't know what he's doing here.
Yep.
Look at this, and he's holding me here
Yep.
like a ruffian.
Oh, get off me, get off me.
Yep.
Oh, you
Oh.
don't need to kick me in the
Ouch.
head here. That was, look at this, and he's picking me up here. Look at me. Look at me.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
Cowboy is just going mad. He's just going at it.
Let's do it, Johnny.
Come on.
Oh, the kick, the punch.
I know those moves you're using there.
Yeah. He steadied. He
Oh,
steadied.
let's see, 8%.
Super tight.
Come on, there we go.
To this
Yes,
last one.
that's
kick.
right.
Come on!
I stop. Because you are the KOK, and that's the
Wow.
cup, not the king of content.
Beat Cowboy when he was down then.
That's right. I'll beat you when you're down, fool.
Yeah.
I like it. Stop. How would you stop running?
Come on. What am I? Am I too fast and too furious for you?
Oh my god.
Oh, there you go. Jump into that side there. What are you trying to do? Get out of the steel cage here? Ain't nobody gonna let you out here. Come on, stop
Oh,
trying to get
you
out.
running from me.
That's not me. You're trying to get out the door.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord. It's pretty evenly matched, Rip, to be honest, right?
Gary, you're just saying that because you're winning. It's so
You
even.
keep kicking me. Come on, Kenzo. Come on.
Well, let's go, John. Stop
Come
running.
on. Let's go. Hey, you can't stay in one spot. What are you going to do? Run out? Can't catch your breath here?
I can't watch this.
That's right. Because I'm the cowboy. Oh, yeah. Woo.
You know what?
know what?
used to playing against
I
fighters,
don't
not
care.
runners.
All of
Oh,
your
gosh.
lame excuses. You just saw
Oh man.
it. Okay, so what are we doing now? Are we gonna have? Are we gonna say that you have to? Look on. Let's go to create the room.
Oh, he's not done yet, is he?
Rumble.
Listen, you see
Let's see. I'm
John's the runner.
I'm gonna use Sting.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to join UEYBK.
UEYBK.
Yep.
What's gonna happen here?
We're gonna go here. We're gonna have one more match here, Cowboy. And let's see.
All right.
We're gonna go. Let's. I'm gonna go for all the glory here. King of the Hill.
Okay.
This is, you can easily get a ring out here, so this will make it interesting. Let me know once. Are you ready? You're going with Dumpster?
I'm ready. So you mean
you're going with that big brute?
Much.
Okay, here we go.
Guys, you see how scared John was of me?
No, you see, you make all these excuses up when I whip your butt.
Oh man, this guy.
Okay, here we go, you big brute. Whoa. Look at this big brute.
Look at the difference.
There we go. Look at that. Kick the brute here.
John has no chance against this big guy.
That's right. You got to keeping it real. Oh, look at this.
Oh man, he's like stepping on her and everything.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Wow.
Give it up.
Oh,
yeah. There we go. The KOK just fell out of the ring, man.
Yep.
All that smack talk, and you just want it to talk all smack here. You're getting your tail whipped.
Oh, there's a.
Oh, he's gonna try and hit me. Oh! What is this? And I win! Look at that! I'm the winner because you fell first.
Wait, we both fell out.
Yeah, but you hit the ground first. It's just like in steel cage matches, man. Whoever's feet hit the ground first is the one that loses. You know that. There we go. Take that.
Rock to the face.
You know what? Come on. That's right.
But she's ready.
It took 3% off of him, right?
The back of his head.
John is the dirtiest player.
Yeah. Oh! I just jumped out here. I let you have that one.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah. Come on. You try to use your brutal strength. Don't you dare pull me. Oh, you son of a gun. Oh, look at that.
Oh my god.
You fell off too.
Oh, it's a tight. Who's going to win this one?
That was like an elastic band.
Yeah.
Oh, he's holding on to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Get off of me.
Oh! One win.
Oh, man.
There you go. There you have it. One win and one win.
Whoa. If we gotta break the tie, baby.
All right.
Go for the rubber match.
No choice. Say when push comes to shove.
Go for one more here. Create room. Rumble. Let's see who I'm gonna go with here. I'll go with T-Rex.
All right. What's the code?
It is CWERB.
B as in boy. B as
no, C as in cowboy. There you go. All right.
Ooh, Rich versus T-Rex.
Okay, so how about we do this? You want to do most KOs in 2 minutes?
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, let's do that.
That sounds like a good way to end it.
Yep, it does. Okay. And we're gonna go with
I don't even know who to pick.
We're gonna do it in the Gutsford pub. So you can go ahead and pick anybody you want.
I don't know who to pick. All right. Well, I've been liking this guy a little bit.
All right.
You know what's weird? We gotta let them know that changing colors online doesn't work.
Yeah. No. Oh, you're gonna go with Kenzo again, are you? Huh.
I'll roll with Kenzo again.
Okay.
You know you beat him. You're running.
Yeah. John has been secretly practicing because he knows that Zarina can whoop his ass. Oh boy.
There we go. Already hit Kenzo. Come on, Kenzo.
Got John on the left, Cowboy on the right. John's there using every items that he can just to get this little small health.
There we go. Smack right to the face, Kenzo.
Double knockdown. Oh, it's so tight.
Uh-oh, Kenzo. Uh-oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I gotta get out of here. All these kicks.
Running for it.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Breaking that window? Perfect.
Oh, no, you smacked that. Come on!
Yeehaw!
Okay, let's see.
What? Oh,
there we
go.
go.
We grabbed the pizza. He was hungry.
Oh, ooh, I gotta smack him here. He's gonna get me. Here, come on!
Oh boy.
There we go. Come on!
Oh boy.
Oh! He's got me here. Okay, so
Cowboy
got
down.
Oh, come on.
Here's some punch.
Yep. I gotta at least knock him down once here.
Yep.
There we go. 1-1.
You guys are tight.
1-1. We got 25 seconds left here.
Someone's got to win. Come on.
Oh, no. Not
boy.
No.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh boy. Oh, look at these dodges.
Oh, he's going crazy. What is this, Kung Fu fighting? Nope. There we go.
Oh, it's done.
No,
and
it's a tie. It's a draw. You know what, Cowboy? I'm going to leave it at a draw so we can have another exciting match at another time here.
All right, I guess I'll go with that. I like to win, but I guess I'll go with that.
We're going to go ahead and exit the game here.
Yeah, so what an intense match, guys. So, Cowboy, what lesson did you get out of this match today?
You got to beat up runners before they start running.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's about right. What about you, John? What kind of lesson have you learned from this today?
Well, I know that the Cowboy is all talk when push comes to shove, and you're shaking your head there. When push comes to shove, you know who the true champ is.
I don't know, John.
Right here, baby.
I still got Fast and the Furious over you, and we tied in this one.
Just the Fast and the Furious, just by a squeak there. And when we played with Jack, me, you, and Jack, I won around there. Jack won around, so we'll see.
True?
We'll see. Maybe next time we'll spice it up. We'll add 2 more people into the mix here and see how it goes, right? Yeah, so we could have a fatal 4-way and to see who comes out as the champion.
Yeah. Let me say this though. I gotta give credit to this game. It's a lot of fun, and I don't mind my wife in the background feeding her.
Happy birthday, Sandy!
But it's a lot of fun, and for the people who are maybe you're holding out, I will say this: if you got people to play with, I think people probably see the ragdoll physics and it make them standoffish, but it's a lot of fun. Right, John? It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's fun. And like Zarina says here, she played during one of the lunch streams, and she mentioned that like it's fun because you could just pick up and basically start playing there. You know, there's a little bit learning here or there, but for the most part, you could it's really easy to pick up and play and have fun with. So I'm looking forward to another match.
Like a fighting game and feel like you're on even ground, this is the game for it. Like, let's say some people play Mortal Kombat and you're like, oh no, I'll never play that game. But this game, everybody could pick it up and kind of have some fun. You know?
Right. Yeah. Because you don't have to worry about all these, up, down, left, right, A, B, and all this stuff. It's just you've got 4 buttons there. You can hold someone, you can pick up and throw. So it's really easy to pick up and play and have fun and talk smack. And I love it. I love these challenges. There's going to be more to come. You're not off the hook yet. You're not off the hook yet.
You're not off the hook yet. And hold on. Hey, so Fletch, wait a minute. Fletch and NinjaGuy, don't think you won't be next to get challenged, all right? Because I'm going around the community. I'm trying to create some different content where people could join in. And so I'm challenging people. Already beat a certain bum. I won't say no names, but I got my eye on Fletch and NinjaGuy.
Wait a minute, Cowboy. Are you like, usually nobody challenged me because they're too scared of me. So what are you trying to do? You're just trying to sabotage yourself just by, challenging me. So, I mean, if you want that, I don't have any issues, but be careful what you wish for.
Okay. Well, you think John was this close to losing, and the time ran out. So, and I already beat him in Fast and Furious. Already beat Jack. Already beat Igor. So Fletch might be next, and it might be you too.
Now, before you go, Cowboy, I've got something for you. I want to share with everybody here, and I think once you see this, you're gonna go running with your tail between your legs. Let me find it here. As soon as it comes up on the screen, you're gonna know what it is.
I know it is.
This is it here. This is quite possibly the absolute best. This better win an award at the Stadia 2022 Community Game Awards at the end of this year, because this was awesome. Listen to it, everybody. Before we start, I wanted to see, what are your thoughts on the game? Like, what are your overall thoughts?
John, honestly,
it doesn't matter what you think. Let's get going right now before I whip your candy ass. Before we start, I wanted to. I can't. I just watch this over and over again. One more time. What are your overall thoughts?
Priceless.
John, honestly,
it doesn't matter what you think. Let's get going right now before I whip your candy ass. I love that reaction.
10 times in a row when you first said it to me.
I love your reaction. That just totally seals the deal on that little bit there. And we didn't plan that at all. I thought, I'm going to try to see if I could catch him in this, because I'm an old school 80s, 90s, early 2000s wrestling fan. So I thought, let's see if I could catch him in the act there. And that was just classic. Priceless. I hope to be accepting my award at the Stadia Community Awards here later this year, because that was the best. It better be on your highlight reel for the end of the year, or I'm going to be mad.
Now, when are you guys having your open chat?
The open chat should be, I'd say, maybe in about 30 minutes. We have, a few other things to talk about beforehand. Yep.
I just want to say, I don't know if y'all remember, but about 2 weeks ago, I made a video specifically saying, what if Ubisoft was to make a cloud native game and it was on? So think about it real quick, and I'm gone. Think about it. It couldn't be on Xbox. What is it called? Xbox Series X.
xCloud
couldn't be on the PlayStation 5. It wouldn't be on the Switch. But just imagine if Ubisoft made a game. Literally, this was 2 weeks ago, and that game was able to be on Stadia, Luna, xCloud, Spartacus, whatever it's going to be. So just imagine if companies say, you know what, we're going to make a game that can't be possible on a PC or a console, but it could be on the cloud, different cloud platforms. It doesn't have to only be Stadia, only be xCloud, but it could be on a bunch of them. And I'm going to say this Scalar thing, and they talking about they got a game coming up. Did the Cowboy crack the code 2 weeks ago? Just saying.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember you saying that. So that's cool. It's cool. That's a wild prediction, I'd say.
Or maybe I knew.
Oh boy.
Never know. All right, we're gonna get that cowboy hat out of here. Thanks again. I had always fun. We'll see you on the next round.
It was so good.
You know what? Before you go, later. See you later.
All right.
Oh, all righty here. Okay, so we've got Fletcher's review here of Mad Streets. I think we're going to roll that and then go over some community news. Does that sound okay?
Yeah. So you've seen Mad Street, and now you will see Fletcher's thought on the game.
Yeah, let's get this going here.
Hello everyone, my name is Fletcher from PSX Cloud, and today I am bringing you my review on Mad Streets. The game has launched today on PC and Google Stadia, and is also available on Xbox consoles. So without further ado, let's get into this. So what is Mad Streets? Well, it is a wacky physics-based brawler brought to us by the developers over at Craftshop. The game is first and foremost a multiplayer game, but has the addition of a single-player experience for all players. You will be fist fighting in a comical way throughout a multitude of modes across local and online play. The wild physics in this title are a mashup between human fall flat and gang beasts, but with more of an emphasis on big, massive brawls. Right, to start off with, in terms of a story mode, you can play solo or local with friends in these sort of mini scenarios that involve different gangs. Each story takes you through various levels with mini games entwined whilst you're having these brawls. Unfortunately, there's not much in the way of a story here, which, to be honest, from a primarily multiplayer focused game, I didn't expect much when dropping in. The story side is relatively short, but does give some entertainment, especially with levels that require you to find logs to keep a fire burning, or beat up as many enemies as possible before the timer runs out. I do wish there was more to this mode and gave us more of a background towards the characters, as I still learn little about them. In single player, you will also have access to single player fights as to be expected, alongside a horde mode which pits you against multiple enemies at one time. This can become very intense and chaotic, but is incredibly fun and exciting. One negative I did come across frequently was how bad the AI in this game is, especially in the story mode. Your AI teammates are just useless and often get in the way and become irritating or simply die so quickly they might as well not be there. This goes for the enemy AI as well, as they are very lackluster and most can't even swing a punch properly. I'm hoping they add a difficulty update to the game in the future, as currently the story mode is incredibly easy to beat. Now, the multiplayer is where the game shines, and you will have massive amounts of fun with friends and family when you go into these modes. The game includes full crossplay support between PC and Stadia, and the developers have stated that content and updates will arrive weekly across all platforms, which is great to hear. First of all, upon booting up multiplayer, you will be able to choose the region that you want to join, and it is imperative that you choose the correct one. I found that when I played on the North American servers as someone who lives in Europe, the experience was dreadful and the lag was massive. Do make sure you pick the right region, but then again, if you have friends in different regions, this will become an issue as someone will have to compromise with poor input lag. Once in the multiplayer, you can jump straight away into quick play, which will either generate a room or put you in one with other players. You can always see how many people are online within the specific regions down below, which is great to see before you're queuing up. The game modes you can play are rounds, which is best of 3, last man standing, or most KOs. These are pretty self-explanatory and are all equally as fun and challenging. Alongside this, the host can also pick from a multitude of different maps, 24 in total, alongside making the lobby public or private. Before the game starts, you can choose between 19 different characters, which all have their unique styles of fighting and build qualities. They also have their own unique power-ups, which are a great addition and give a great variety to the different fighting you will come across. The map design in this game is great and each have their own unique elements that make fighting even more chaotic. For example, the gym has a lot of exercise balls which you can throw and cause mayhem, and another is King of the Hill, where players have to watch out for the edges and not fall to their death. You can see a lot of love has been put into each level and they create for some amazing experiences. The best thing overall is that any object in the game can be picked up and used as a weapon. If that's in hand or thrown, this causes immense thrills and laugh-intensive experiences. I played a lot of multiplayer with my friends and it is clear to see why this is the best mode in the game. I had so many laughs playing this with my friends as we all did crazy moves and had some stupid deaths. This is an amazing party game throughout, especially for some quick, stupid fun. In terms of performance, the game has a quality and high frame rate mode. The quality mode runs at a higher resolution and graphic detail, but subsequently runs at 30 FPS. Then the high frame rate mode drops the resolution and graphic detail slightly, but runs at a fluid 60 FPS. Personally, I preferred the high frame rate mode, especially in a battle brawler that requires it. I did also come across a couple of issues on the multiplayer side, and these seem to occur frequently enough that it did become a bit frustrating. As mentioned, if you have friends in different regions, then you will have to choose one specific region to join each other. This does become a pain, as when I wasn't the host, I had to go onto an American server, and the lag was so bad it almost became unplayable for me. I hope this does get rectified in the future updates and they improve the server situation. Alongside this, in games when switching rounds, me and my friends came across a sudden crash of the game. This was essentially showing a character on screen still moving, and we couldn't even quit the game from the in-game menu. The only way to fully close the game was to boot it up again, which became very irritating. So what do I think of Mad Streets overall? Well, I rate games on a stream, sale and save basis. And to me, there is two situations for this game. Personally, if you are looking for a party game to play with friends and all play within the same region, then I would certainly stream it right now, especially for that asking price. You will have lots of fun and get hours of enjoyment out of it, and with the developers promising future updates, you know a lot of content is on the way. However, if you're looking to play alone or with friends in different regions, then I would certainly hold out for the update before purchasing. The game is great fun and gives you a lot of laughs. However, the performance issues with multiplayer and lackluster story mode doesn't make it a great overall experience. So that wraps up my review of Mad Streets. All gameplay today was shown on Google Stadia via the Chromecast Ultra. If you want to see more reviews, consider subscribing down below and give it a thumbs up. My name is Fletcher from PSX Cloud, and I will see you guys in the next video.
And there we go. That was a great review. You touched on all the good points there, and what I really like is that developers listening, because I know, like, since you've you've made your video for the review, that the developer themselves have come out to say, you know, they acknowledge that playing in different regions, that there's an issue, and it's stuff that they're working on. And we're actually, Ninja and I are working on trying to get the developer on Stadium Connect North here. Talk to him. They're out of British Columbia, so the West Coast. So there's a little time difference there, but they're extremely busy, of course, with the launch and trying to do updates and whatnot. So hopefully we'll get them here soon. And I even mentioned to them this would be a great game for the Summer Community Championship with some added features and updates and stuff like that. So they were really excited about that. So I'm excited about to see where the game will go in the future. But, you know, you did bring up a great point here. I think that they should have, when they launched it, said it's early access, because that gives you that expectation, right? That it's not going to be 100% polished. Whereas if you're just saying it's being released, then you're gonna expect it to be, for the most part, 100% polished, right? And not have very, you know, minimal bugs there and things like that. So.
Yeah, with the playtime I came across quite a few bugs that just sort of crashed, and I couldn't get out unless I completely quit the game, which is a bit irritating. But I understand bugs can be ironed out, but yeah, early access would have been a bit of a better title, personally.
Yeah. Even with all the crashes and stuff, you're still seeing people to buy it. So that means something, right? That means that you believe that they'll have new updates and things like that. So it's nice that you base your reviews on that, on more information outside of the review. I like that.
Yeah, I think for me as well, sort of a lot of my friends sort of are from America or different countries. So personally, like, for me, I want to play with them, and I can't at the moment with it. So I'm very limited to a smaller pool of people that I can play with, and just it gets a bit irritating. And it gets worse when you play with 4 people compared to 2. So when I was playing against John, I could feel it was bad, but when it was 4 people, it literally became unplayable to the point where I'd press an input and then I would have to wait around 10 seconds for it to do anything. So it's a bit of a pain. So I know they were looking into upgrading servers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good that they're taking on feedback and listening to the community, which is great.
Very good.
Awesome. Cool. So I think now here, what we're going to do is we're going to roll on into the community news here. We don't have a whole lot of community news, but we'll go ahead and start here. I'm going to move us over to the side, and I'm going to beef this up here. Alrighty. So we're going to start here. First is we're going to start out with this NinjaGuy X person. I don't know who they are, but anyways, they're out here showing some love to the community. And Ninja tweeted here yesterday. I guess, yeah, it was yesterday morning, right around 10 o'clock. Says, what I love about Stadia is that there's always someone to watch in the community. Here's the list below of everyone that I know on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to them for their support and let me know if I missed any. Well, holy mackerel, we're going down the list here. There is just like, I don't know how many people that you have listed here, but there is just a ton. This is awesome because it's a great reference for people looking for streamers and other fellow people that like Stadia as well. In fact, this was so popular that even the Stadia official Stadia Twitter account retweeted you there and showing some love here. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people here. Let me see even more replies. And some people even added in, say, oh, hey, here's somebody else too. So there was even more people that we can learn about and follow and watch and interact with. So this was awesome. So a big shout out. Thanks for doing that. That's truly amazing hearing to see how everyone responded with all the love and support. And like I said, even the official Stadia account retweeted you as well. So even to get more exposure for everybody. So hats off for that.
Yeah, like the only purpose for that, for me personally, was to find more like the one that I missed, right? And I did like I did get a few more, like maybe 7 or 8 more, which I'm very happy. But I did not expect it to have so much, like so much reactions to it. Like it was pretty awesome.
So I'm just curious here. How did you extract that list? Was there a tool you used, or did you just manually do it one by one? Or
I manually do it. It took me like maybe an hour. It took me a while.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, thank you for that. That is totally awesome here. And we have a link to in the description. There's in our show links. There's a link to this tweet here. That way you can go ahead and check out and all this work that Ninja has done, and you're going to find some great people in there. So thank you so much for doing that. Okay, so Silver Lining, our good friends Vivi and Adam, Original Penguin, invited us on their show this week. And they have, on their show, they'll have challenges. So, we've played some of the challenges where they had to do like a trailer, or they had to model a horse. I think recently they had a macaroni challenge, just these silly, funny, wacky things. So they called us on the show there, and they threw out a challenge here. Let me see. I wonder, I should have had it queued up here to the point where, let's see, that they're throwing us here. So here's Freaky Friday. So based upon the movie Freaky Friday, where we switch roles here. So essentially, let me see if I can get the roles here up. Yeah,
It might be before, actually.
Yeah, it might be a little bit
early. Yeah,
might be a little bit before.
Or a lot before.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! There you go.
Here we go. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to pause it there. So you might not be able to see it. Well, I'm going to look here on my screen. So Silver Lining and Stadium Connect North are swapping bodies. You must work with your co-host to make the most accurate impression of the other show. So Ninja and I are going to be doing an impression of Silver Lining for Adam and Vivi. Only a snippet, not the whole thing. You must feature both of the hosts of the alternate show. So for us, it'll be Original Penguin and Vivi, and for them, it's going to be myself and Ninja. No external help is allowed, and you must feature an auditory and visual component. So that was this past Thursday, yesterday. So they've given us a 2-week time limit to come up with our own parody of Silver Lining. Ninja and I met last night, and we talked over a couple ideas, and we're going to further refine our idea here and start working on it in the next couple of days, maybe early next week, and see what we can bang out here. But it's going to be fun.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah. Both
it's going to be
Vivi, Vivi and Original Penguin are such great people. So definitely check out them, Silver Lining. And I believe I do have the link in the description. If not, I will certainly get it in there so you can check them out. And we'll give you an update next week on the show of where we're at in the challenge here. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Okay, so we talked about this at the beginning of the show a little bit, mentioned it a few times. And the Google for Games Summit, one of the sessions was a Windows emulator for Linux, basically making it easier to bring over Windows-based games over to Stadia. And Jack put together this awesome article here that gives you a summary, kind of breaks it down to make it in layman's terms here. So it's more understandable because there's a lot of high-level language that was used, and rightfully so. Jack goes over here and tells about what Windows, gives you the overview on what Windows games usually access and that they're looking for. He's got a nice table here, the DirectX, the system calls. One of the ways that you can do it here is translate the source. So it's available in production in Stadia in the porting toolkit. He goes over there. He talks about DXVK, which Metro Exodus. Jack had mentioned that a little while ago about seeing that, and possibly theorizing on games using DXVK to help port them over to Stadia. And sure enough, that is the case. Even breaks it down here and gives you the upsides and the downsides to each of these methods here. There we go. The Wine and Proton, being able to use that. Those are probably the most popular tools. Tells you here the upside is in many cases absolutely nothing would have to be changed in the code. The downside, Wine is pretty bulky package to install, and it tries to implement everything any Windows app would ever need. So you're going to have extra stuff if the Windows app doesn't even need it. So that's extra overhead and kind of bloat as well. And then this is the Path 3, what Stadia was talking about, where they developed your own wine light. And Stadia are testing this now with several different games. It's not an emulator per se, it's more of a translator. And it says the upside to this is like Wine, but it's less bloated. Once fully developed, can run unmodified Windows games. The downside is for every new game you try to run, there may be new functions that you'll need to add. And it doesn't have decades of development or an army of developers working on it like Wine. So for those interested for a more in-depth look, and Jack explaining it really well, you can head on over to the PNTS network, check out that article. It's really good, and it's awesome. I guess kudos to Jack.
Jack is not even I don't think he develops games or anything. He's just very passionate about all of these gaming talks. So it's cool to see him getting into this and sharing us his knowledge.
Yep. Yeah, definitely, for sure. There we go. We saw somebody here out in the community. I'm not familiar with this person. Music Al 1250. Let me see. Am I following? No, you follow. Oh, yeah. Yep, I'm following and he follows me. Haven't interacted too much with this particular person, but they did see Peggy rated Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon for Stadia, and its original release date was March the 16th. It hasn't come out yet, so that looks like it's possibly coming maybe next week, in the near future, possibly. But anyways, it was rated for Peggy here, and it's good to see even more games. I know people are excited for that.
We got it this week on Stadia, coming out next week. You never know, right? It could be because I think these titles like Rayman and Assassin's Creed 3, they just shadow dropped them, I think, during this week's on Stadia. So it's possible,
Yeah. Alrighty. And our second last piece of news here. This was the Stadia wallpaper.
Yes.
But
what I did is I put the link just to this username because he got a few posts with the wallpaper. So you just need to scroll down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just to mention that, he's posted a lot. You can just scroll down even more.
Yeah, let's see.
A little bit more. Okay, further than I thought, but there you go.
Here we go. Okay, yeah. So there's a user here on Reddit that's been making wallpapers for your phone, Stadia related. They got a bunch of different ones here. I know through Reddit here it might not look exactly good, but he has a link. I was pretty sure. I thought there was oh yeah, here's another post here of different. Let me see if I say look at. Yeah, so there you can see like that's in your wallpaper. So it's just just another person in the community that's making these cool Stadia focused wallpapers. And we do have the link, I believe, again in the description for that as well.
I got my my wallpaper here set up. Let me just remove my notification there. So that's actually the one that I have. So,
yeah, there you go.
I like that one. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, you did a pretty good job there.
Yeah,
I have mine on there as well, but my phone's dead, so 10 out of 10.
Yay.
Yep. Alrighty. So our final piece of news, we talked about it last week, and it was supposed to happen on the 17th, but things just didn't work out that way. So we've officially confirmed, and we're happy to announce that on Monday, March the 21st at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. CET, we are going to be talking to, all right, here we go, Ninja. You got to help me out again with the developer name.
Oh, Kyoken.
Yes, Kyoken. We're going to be talking with Kyoken. They're the developers of Deliver Us the Moon, and published by Wired Productions. So we're going to be talking with them on Monday, 12 noon Eastern, and we're going to find out a little bit about the company, about the game, and maybe ask them some questions about the low change porting, and just about Stadia overall. And we're definitely going to be taking questions from the chat. So we're hoping everyone can make it out there. It's going to be myself, Ninja, Fletch. You're going to be in on it too, and we're going to have MM2K is going to join us as well. So we're going to have a full panel here talking with Kyoken and about Deliver Us the Moon. So super excited about that, and we finally got it nailed down here to the date, and I'm really looking forward to this. I know a lot of people are excited about this game, and so check us out. Of course, we'll be promoting it all weekend and Monday as well, so you don't forget. It's going to be awesome. Really excited for that.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yep. Cool.
All right.
And that's our community news.
Exactly. So now we're going to jump in the community open chat. So we're going to end the poll right now. And so we asked you guys, do you think that Ubisoft Scalar will impact cloud gaming in general? So let's end this right now. Let me refresh the page. Oops.
Yeah, 42 votes there, I see.
Yeah, so we got 42 votes. 71% says yes, and 28% says no, which is very interesting. Kinja here says, I'm surprised that so far 10 people voted no. So yeah, I guess some people don't think that they'll have much impact on the cloud community. But let me tell you, let me hear your thoughts on that, guys, in the chat. But meanwhile, what I'm thinking about this is I feel like it can do some pretty amazing thing. So I think Fletch has mentioned it, but just the fact that, like an MMORPG, all the things happening in the background could be processed through the cloud gaming. That seems pretty amazing, and that would mean that it could borrow even more power than what it's actually doing, which is kind of cool. What I think that it could possibly do also is, let's say Ubisoft would have multiple games. I don't know, like Assassin's Creed and another Tom Clancy game. I could see like you'd make your custom avatar and you could jump from one game to another. Like you would have all of your items, all of your your clothing and all of that transferring from one game to another easily. You could just open a door in the game and then you jump on another game and things like that. That seems like a very possible thing to do. Like, of course, I have the metaverse in my head, right, when I think about these things. But yeah, it would be very cool to see. And the other thing I can think of is, I don't know if you guys remember the trailer of the latest Ratchet and Clank game where Ratchet was jumping from one world to another so easily without a loading time, and we ended up knowing that it's just like it wasn't that impressive after all. Like I think like PlayStation 3 could have done that because it's just loading in the background and it's a pre-made scenario. But I could see like Cloud doing that where like you could load into worlds super quickly, as quick as we would have never seen before, because one server in the cloud could be loading everything while this cloud is doing other things, and then it would just like switch it like easily. And seems very promising to see this service finally happening. So these are my thoughts on it.
I think there's a few instances where it will affect it and won't. I think in terms of downloads, even if it's cloud backed by you've got all the cloud computing in there, even though MMOs get updated all the time and some of them just sick the data, there's a lot of occasions where you still need to update if they bring out a big patch or they add new things to the game. So I still feel that sort of when you have a massive open world that's just being powered by cloud computing, it's still going to need, like, the cloud streaming services are going to benefit from that because you don't have to download that massive amount of data. And that's where moving forward already you can see Xbox pivoting to it with xCloud, etc. Sort of they're going storage is going to be a massive thing, and the cloud streaming side negates that, especially with these games going to get larger, and Ubisoft are going now, well, games are going to get larger. It automatically means you got to get the storage is expensive as it is, and so if you had that all done via cloud streaming, it'll be great. So yeah, it's very interesting going into that. I don't know whether we'll see any sort of cloud servers native games yet from Ubisoft. I think that what they're working on will be more of a cloud computing in the background, so it's playable across everything. But I feel it's a stepping stone to cloud native, and they will work on that, and that's why they're going live service, so they can have solutions like this moving forward. That's why we're getting rumors of Infinity and Division Heartland and all of these live service things, just because first of all it's money. You can monetize it for years, and then on top of that you've got such a massive experience that you don't need to bring out a massive AAA release every year or two. You can just update the one game
and continue to build.
And Cowboy like talked about that a lot. Like he has a lot of thinking towards it, and a live service makes sense, right? Because if you really like a game and you don't want it to stop, you don't want to just play a game, finish it, and then just move to another game. Well, that's how I like to do it. But some people just like to stick to one game and just keep it going with the service and getting new content and things like that. And I don't blame it. Like some people like to just focus on one game, and I think that's a really good way to go for sure.
I think with like what would be cool to see with it is obviously we've seen it with Xbox with Azure and their whole flight simulator, and using Azure to power that with Bing Maps and being able to simulate real-time weather in a game straight away. That's cool. Sort of you could imagine if a game was based on Earth and you just had real-time simulation physics of like weather patterns, etc., and that would be phenomenal in a game, because you think I could just walk up to my house. I think we'll get there one day. Day when they can simulate that. But I think sort of having that real life aspect to it just brings that immersive stream right to you.
right. That's true. So Grant here is saying, imagine if instead of worrying about Stadia Gen 2, you could combine two blades. Now, I don't know how that works. Like, for example, like Stadia still doesn't have RTX, right? So combining two blades wouldn't help with that, but it would definitely help in other ways. It's just I'm not sure like how it could be useful, but
I'm trying to look through here while we're talking about the GDC 2019 announcement where they actually showed about combining two blades here. I'm trying to find the snippet, but I can't for some particular reason.
I think when on the style of RTX, I don't see why people are really wanting RTX, because it tanks performance in games and it really doesn't add much. And we see it in titles at the moment. I mean, like you're like Gran Turismo 7 that's just come out where it uses it in photo mode. Like, I don't really care about photo mode personally. Like,
Mhm.
for me, I would rather have a game that runs at great performance, rather have that, 1080 or 4K at 60. That's where it should be. Like, I don't want a game to run at 4K 30 anymore. I was fed up with that last generation, let alone moving forward as well. And sort of, I know it's a big step in terms of lighting effects, and I think we'll see more of it. But with obviously next gen consoles, they're AMD powered like Stadia is. AMD don't have great ray tracing capabilities compared to
it's too
the
early.
NVIDIA side.
It's too early to get into that, because even before the RTX series came out, they were talking about the RTX, and you can see that it just takes too much power at the moment. We're just not too advanced enough in that technology to take advantage of the RTX. So because I do find it annoying when you see like a performance mode switch in a game. I don't feel like that should be a thing. I think you should just like make the game how it's meant to be, and then play that, because I'm a very big console guy, right? I just want to put the disc and not decide on any of these things. I just want one setting and that's it. But implementing these type of settings now is just not appealing to me, for sure.
Yep. So I was going to say, so I found the piece in the original announcement that they were talking about at the GDC. Just wanted to play it here real quick about showing the difference between when they combine the two instances here. So let's see. We can get this going. Let's open this up here.
Oh, the red shoes.
Right, here we go.
3D mark to put Stadia to the test. In this video, you can see some comparison points showing the difference between our single GPU and multiple GPUs. What you see here on the left of the line is running on a single 10.7 teraflop GPU. And on the right of the line, you can see the same content running on Stadia using multiple GPUs. In this demo, we're highlighting real-time fluid deformation. Accurate water simulation is one of the most compute-intensive effects for games. And it's a powerful example of what Stadia is capable of. And I'm so excited to see where game developers go with this kind of performance. When we designed Stadia...
So, to my knowledge, there isn't any game that uses the multiple GPUs yet.
Yeah.
No, I think, as Granite said, sort of Stadia's dreams were similar to the Ubisoft offering. And I think that's true. I think this is what Ubisoft are going on about with that performance, because we haven't seen it, and I think that's what SG&E were working on at the time. That demo they put together showing it was obviously what SG&E put together for that GDC conference. So I feel that this is what we'll see from Ubisoft. You'll see that extra graphic enhancements and stuff that we can't be done, and especially water, like they were saying, water's huge. Like you can go into so many games nowadays and water still looks awful. There's so many times you go in it and go, oh, awful. But
except submerged is beautiful.
And you know what? This just makes you wonder, and of course we'll never ever know, is that maybe part of that decision for them to close SG&E, where they realized, about getting the third-party games and how long it would take for them just opening up a studio to get a result from it. Who knows? Maybe they've been having talks with Ubisoft, since Stadia and Ubisoft are so close-knit together as partners, that they kind of said, maybe we'll transfer some of this information over, share this knowledge as we close, so that they can further the dream at a faster rate. They're already a well-established publisher and whatnot, and because you could see, like, even the last couple of weeks, Ubisoft has really stepped up their promotion for cloud gaming and of course now with Scalar, cloud computing and stuff like that. So I think they're really on the forefront of this. And it's really going to be awesome to see.
You can really see that there might be like one of the first company that take that advantage, right? Like that they start to develop for with multiple blades and things like that. It's going to be cool to see that happening. Now I can understand why multiple blades could be useful, because of their rendering and stuff like that.
I think
it makes sense to me. Yeah.
In terms of two companies, it's Ubisoft and Microsoft, because we already know that Xbox are working on a cloud-based MMO. So it's something that they've been rumored to be working on. It's not been official, but it's very widely a big, wide open secret in the community. So it'd be interesting to see sort of who comes out first. But I feel that those two will be leaders in that charge, and then there'll be everyone to follow suit, because at the end of the day, like they say, developers are restricted by the power that's on the system. If they can double or even triple that performance, games are just going to look phenomenal. You don't have to worry about that system overhead anymore. I can just extract more power.
I can't wait for that. There's a game that came out that's using the cloud to generate some stuff. I'm gonna show it to you right now. It's called Scavengers. It's a game, like it says dead of a game. It's still there out there, but it's not doing well for some reason. So this game was like the world is pretty much generated in the cloud, and you just jump into it, and everybody can play it. And I don't even think there's like a limit to how many players can jump in. Like I think you can put like as many players as you want, which is pretty impressive. I wish that it would have done better. Like nobody have heard about this game. Have you guys heard about this game?
Well, I've never heard of it.
I haven't. No.
Yeah, like what happened is that I think the way that they introduced the game didn't work well, because I think it was in beta at first, and everyone in the beta was able to keep their equipment. So whenever they released it, everyone who was in the beta was overpowered, and I think it really turned off anyone else who wanted to come in the game. There's a place in the there you go. They tested out like how many players they could put in. Did you see that? Crap. Yeah, there was a lot. I don't know if it's look at this. So they made some tests and stuff, and like it was crazy what they could do. But this is a really cool video. I really encourage you guys to see it. Death of a Game Scavengers, and it just shows like the potential of what they can do, and hopefully either this game or another game can just bring that up, like a MMO with thousands of people in the same village and things like that. That would be so cool.
Wow.
That looks fun. That quote that Phil Harrison said at GDC of Battle Royales going from 100 people to 1,000 people.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's inevitable that it will go to that, but it can only be done via the cloud. So it'd be interesting to see what they do.
I like Paul's message. Imagine GTA using that technology. You could basically be like hanging out in another world and do all of these. It'd be so cool to just it'd be basically be in a city within a city, basically. Like I don't know. It's
just imagine like every single storefront or every building you could go in. There's people doing things like it's actual, not just, bland where, some of the doors open, some of them don't. Or if you do go in, they're empty. With the cloud computing there, you have all these thousands of different servers to be able to have that time to run the AI and have these certain things. So it just will make things more realistic on that aspect of the game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be amazing.
I reckon we could see GTA 6 doing it cloud. With how long it's taking to come out, I wonder if they are working on that. Because how much they've pivoted on GTA 5 to the online and keeping it as a service. I reckon GTA 6 will most likely implement something like that.
Yeah, because they still make boatloads of money from GTA 5, so they're not in a rush, right? Like they know people want it, but then yet at the same time as GTA 5 is just making tons and tons, and like like after all these years, how long has the game been out? Like probably
2013,
almost 10 years,
so 9 years now.
The update's just released, isn't it, for the next gen consoles? Like, if people are going to buy that, like, you could just keep on building the hype up until it comes out.
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, then we're on PS4, Xbox One, now we're on PS5. Like, the same game, but obviously, change and expand it somewhat, but still, it's what they call like a cash cow. It's like they could just open their bag up and people are just dumping money in, and it's constantly the top.
GTA Online is what's keeping them. So maybe I don't know what's going to happen, but are they really going to release a GTA 6 or are they going to release like a GTA Online 2? Who knows, right? Like maybe they're not getting money anymore out of story games. So you never know.
I think with the cloud, we're going to see a big pivot in how games are coming across anyway. I don't think we'll have these individual story. We'll still have the individual story experiences, but I think it will pivot massively once this technology is about where it'll be live service. And that's how the industry's been going for years now. It's been going towards that more of a live service because you can monetize it, going towards that metaverse as well of everyone goes in there. And then obviously you got that horrible NFT stuff, which are also trying to monetize costumes and stuff like that in game as well. So it's all winding into that one aspect, and cloud's gonna progress that, and that's why Amazon Luna are getting in it. That's why Stadia are in on it. That's why Xbox is doing it. It's only a matter of time.
Completely agree.
So with that, I think we're gonna end the show. If you guys have nothing else to talk about,
I think that's it.
Sounds good. We'll have to rethink about our time again. What we tried failed miserably. So we do apologize for that. But we are trying to do an effort to maybe lower the time on our show. So hopefully you still enjoyed. And other than that, John, what do you have planned for this week and the next week?
No, this weekend just gonna relax and chill. Monday we've got the interview Deliver Us the Moon from the developers there, and I think we're gonna play at some point one day next week Rainbow Six Siege, right? The new team deathmatch, and I've got to sneak in somewhere. I've got the game that Fletch reviewed, the platforming game Ryan. I forget Ryan's World, right? I've got to sneak a stream in of that somewhere. We've got twos next week. I mean, I don't know. There's always lots of stuff going on. It's great to see. We've got more interviews brewing for April as well. So it's consistently busy, but it's awesome. And it's so happy to be able that we can bring this to these interviews and share our thoughts and stuff with the community as well. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Fletch? What do you have planned? I know you got like thousands of stuff planned every week, but let us give us like maybe a small schedule.
So many ideas. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm planning to do a review on A Place of the Unwilling. I thought I'd do that because it also releases on other consoles next week as well.
Nice.
So sort of thought I could do it all in one then. And I know not many people on Stadia know what it is, so it'd be great to give a bit more insight into it. Obviously, getting the Oculus Quest, so taking a trip down into VR.
Oh, good stuff, man.
And then twos, and obviously if any games come out,
nice,
play them and review them. So a lot of time goes into
exactly.
it.
Got to reserve some spots for this week's on Stadia because there's always new games on there.
Yeah. I'm preparing myself already, thinking, oh no, World War Z, Blood Dragon. Oh no, everything's coming out.
Yeah, exactly. On my end, I'm just streaming in the morning as usual. I don't have anything else planned. I know I have quite a busy week at work next week, but I'll be playing some Dawn of the Monsters, trying to 100% it. Get an S+ on every stages, and then I'll probably be playing some Risk of Rain 2 some more because I really like it. And
game.
I want to play with some people also.
I want to play multiplayer with you as well.
That'd be so fun.
We got to write down. So much stuff.
So much stuff. Yeah, and then I'll be playing some Trivial Pursuit, of course, with my spouse. I can't wait to try that game. So it's gonna be really fun.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
All right,
Sounds good.
With that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch up each other next week, same time, from oh my gosh, I should not have thought of putting a time because we all have different time zones, but we'll say from 4:30 Eastern time to whatever time we
PM
finish.
UK.
Yeah, there you go, you got it. So thanks again, and we'll be covering some more news, some more community news, and some insight on stuff. So have a good one, guys, and see you next week.
Have a good one. We'll see you
See you later.
Monday. Don't forget. Bye-bye.
Don't forget.